I try and think about what cars I'd want for 15 grand. There's like 2. Maybe 3.
I can think one right off the bat.
See, you can maybe think of like a car you can get for 10 grand, but it's got that drift tax on it.
Yeah. That's the problem, is that 15 grand opens up any car.
Well, then why don't we say 15 to 20 to kind of narrow it down a little bit and make it the where...
but that just makes the whole pot so much more full.
Yeah,
I'd have to go redo my list.
That throws a wrench in the whole thing. I mean, because for 15 grand, you could buy like a shitty, like classic car. You know what I mean? Or else you could buy. I mean, where are you going to go with that? If you have
what about a 996 by any chance?
No, because I don't think you can get one for 15.
What about buying a car and then with enough money to like do whatever you want to it?
Yeah, I mean,
like I can get a Toyota pickup, you know, maybe like a nice, maybe not like a newer Tacoma, but like I don't know, like early 2000 Tacoma, and then spend the rest on like making it ready to get dirty.
True.
Nasty.
But then you're opening up a whole nother can of worms. That's like for 15 grand, I just buy a freaking Civic and make 500 horsepower.
Hey man, if that'll help, I say go for it. I've got my list.
All right, I got a list. It's not as many as you have, but it's a list.
It's fine. It's fine. Hey man, I believe in you.
Okay. So let's record.
Oh, he's hitting record.
Now he's recording.
No, I pulled I pulled a fast one on you guys, and I had already done it. So we are recording and have been for, I don't know, a couple minutes. But all right, so we're going to do the what do you get for 15 grand? And this time we have our other intern, Jesse, the guy drinking a beer and putting it down.
Hey.
This is Jesse out of Jacksonville, Florida, skilled in the ways of videos and whatnot. And then if you guys saw the last one for 10 grand, then you met Hunter with the red headphones. And then frickin' Mike with the Georgia hat. All right. So if you had just, you know, a backpack full of 15 grand, what would you buy? Who wants to go first?
And
you?
Jesse, go.
All
yes. Right. All right. Straight out the bag. Chrysler 300 SRT8.
Ooh.
4 doors. V8. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Hemi V8. 425 horsepower. And you can put the kids in the back. Listen.
I like it.
That big body, just like, I don't know, man. You just like, you own the road. This is your road.
Yeah.
And if anybody's coming to step up, like, you can back it up.
No, yeah, I get it. You got all your bros in there with dark sunglasses, roll down the windows.
Oh, yeah. Just like murder it out. Yeah.
And I hadn't driven one of those, but we had the Trackhawk earlier this year, and it has definitely that same vibe of just total badassery. So, yeah, if you could get one for 15 grand, can you get one for 15? Yeah, you can, can't you?
I screenshotted one because it was a little edgy.
All right, well then.
It was a little edgy.
You know, if you're going to go with that, I'm going to go ahead and pull like a change up and go with the yellow Charger SRT8. It's got to be yellow.
Yeah, I love them, but I'm a save the manuals guy. And the fact that they refuse to offer a manual transmission in those cars kills it for me. Okay, so like take the Hellcat for example. All right, the Hellcat Charger looks a hell of a lot better than a Hellcat Challenger, but I'd go with the Challenger every day just because I could get it in a 6-speed.
I'm with you, 100%.
Just for that simple
fact. I have a little girl. I need
the
Charger, but I would stick her in the back of the damn Challenger so I could get the 6-speed. Dad of the year.
I mean, I'm just like, put the same transmission you put in the damn Challenger.
Somebody told me, and I wasn't listening, but they told me why. There was a reason why they're not putting it in the 4 doors, but I can't remember. Something along the lines of it's so badass it'll tear that shit up. Yeah,
I'm going to say either they're thinking about cost or the demographic of people who are buying 4-door sports cars aren't the kind of people that deal with stick shift.
I don't know, but I would. That would be the ultimate. But all right. Okay, so Mike, your first $15,000 car.
All right. I'm gonna go with the E46 M3.
That was one of mine.
Great iconic car. You can get them kind of ragged out and beat up for about $15,000. But I think that's one of those cars that's gonna always be respected and appreciated, and be a really, really fun car to kind of always drive. And it's one of the few BMWs that you can actually put a lot of mileage on without them, stealing your wallet in the process.
Yeah.
I think it's the first, aside from the older ones, I think it's the first, timeless BMW. Like the E36, it's like the E36, but you see an E46, and sometimes I have a hard time mistaking them for, the new ones,
Yeah.
Like, it's the first, no matter what year it is, it's just classic modern BMW to me. Like, you have the old, more squared-off lines, like the 80s ones and whatever, but, the E46 just screams, classic BMW as far as,
weird.
post 90s.
I'm more of I can appreciate the older.
I'm polar opposite.
I love them. I just appreciate them in a different way.
I did not like an E46 until maybe the last year or two. I've always been kind of, I don't know, I hadn't really cared too much. And now all of a sudden I'm starting to see what I didn't see before.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. I guess as the douchebags sold them off, they start to get more, more appealing to me. But yeah, no, I'm total opposite. But see, when I was a kid, it was the E30 and the E36. And then the 46, and I was like, it got too kind of big to me. But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, man, that is kind of the perfect all-arounder.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so whatever. E46. I knew it was going to make it on there. I just didn't know who was going to say it first. All right, Hunter, what's your first one?
All right. I'm going to throw you off a little bit. I'm going to go with the Ford Lightning.
I love it.
Oh.
Yeah. What?
I totally forgot about that truck.
Exactly.
I'm a lot more work on this list than I did.
Cards for $15,000, and then as I was sitting, I saw a red Ford Lightning pass by in front of my.
It's got to be red. It's got to be red. Listen.
Wait, now didn't they make a Smurf blue?
I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they did. There wasn't a lot of colors offered for them. I think I've seen a black, white, and a red, but I'm pretty sure that they made a blue one.
They did a charcoal gray too. But...
Did they? I haven't seen that. But at first, at this point, they're either stored away and super nice, or ragged out and in the countryside. You know?
Yeah.
Because I pass by them all the time, but they're terrible. And then I went to we have a car show. I don't know if it travels or whatever, but we have World of Wheels here in Birmingham, and there was a line of them. I guess there's a club somewhere, and they were mint. And I was like,
They're
what?
Hogging them all. They're hogging them all, dude.
Gorgeous vehicle.
That's why you don't see them anymore.
Dude, yeah. And that's an investment and a half. Those things are going to bring some money.
Yeah.
Every time I see one, I immediately think the first Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Those big ass box truck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right in front of the speed shop.
Well done. All right. What's the second one, Jesse?
Second one. I'll keep it going.
Keep it going.
Caliber SRT4. Caliber SRT4. Yeah, I know, but listen, hear me out.
Okay.
Caliber SRT4. First of all, it's a wagon. I don't know if it's something recent, but I'm slowly getting a heart for these wagons. And I've got a buddy who's got one.
It's kind of a wagon.
It's wagon enough for me.
Okay. All right.
It's wagon enough for me.
Okay.
It's like a crossover-ish wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a chubby.
I don't know what you'd call it. I appreciate it. I don't know that I would want to own it, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm about it. about it. I don't know. I always thought it'd be really cool to like, I don't know, drift around your child's pickup circle. Well, you can't drift, but like come in hot. No, they're not. No,
Screech.
Let's slide around.
Yeah, no, like when they first came out, I was into them. I thought they were kind of cool as crap, but they were kind of a victim of the whole like economy gas price hike and all that, because they kind of got short-lived, and then they got the axe. And I mean, every once in a while around where I live, you'll see one that the guy's a tech at some shop or something like that. Yeah. And he comes ripping by and blowing off, and it sounds freaking cool, and it looks freaking cool. Yeah. We featured a couple of them. Like, I mean, they're cool. They're cool wild cards. Are they $15,000?
Yeah, and I also took a screenshot of that one.
I mean, it seems like you could get them for like $7,000.
I was about to say it sounds like an $8,000 car to me.
Yeah, but that's all right. That'll give you money.
That's okay. It's cool. Under 15.
Yeah,
probably 15 with.
I'll play with it. I'll play with it a little bit.
All right. I mean, it's got the same vibe as the SRT. It's just kind of like Renegade style.
I think Dodge does a good job across the line of like making their bodies extremely intimidating. Like you have that, and this is a stretch, but the Dodge Nitro. Do you remember that huge front end? Like totally unnecessary, huge front end on the Nitro. It definitely didn't make sense to have it on there, but like it looked more intimidating, than something else that should be more intimidating.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about it.
And they had like those flares
or something to play with, though.
Yeah, those slightly obnoxious, but like they have this big why the fuck not, No,
yeah, I dig it. All right, I guess $15,000 car, I would have to say the Fiesta because that's what I did. If you're going to go for something newer, because the Fiesta is like so, you can buy them brand new for freaking like $19,000. You literally can't beat it. And so if you pick one up,
you have to throw the ST in there though.
Yeah, did I not say Fiesta ST?
You said Fiesta. There's a difference.
No. All right, Fiesta ST. The Fiesta, no, Fiesta ST all day. Because you can buy them, literally the Fiesta, there is no better bang for the buck as far as a fairly new car. Nothing that's going to respond as wildly to mods for the buck. And you can, for $15,000, you could get one with probably 15,000 miles. So you've got a car that is virtually brand new, that is fun as hell, and I've been through the mod path on that car, and I know that it just gets better and better and better.
Yeah, and there's a lot of support on it, and that support's not going anywhere regardless of...
I'm sure one of y'all are going to say the FRS at some point, and that's a good car for $15,000, but the Fiesta ST will eat its damn lunch. Stock for stock. And then when you start going mods... I just had an 8.6 as a press car, and this is the third one I've had. The first two, I was like, I freaking love this. It's the best car in the whole freaking world. And then I bought a Fiesta, and then I got another 8.6 press car, and I was like, this thing, I legitimately think it might have been out of time, like broken.
He called me. Like, Mike, I think this car is broken because it doesn't go anywhere.
It literally... Third gear it gets fun. Third and fourth is a sweet spot on the 8.6, but like the one that I just had, first and second were abysmally slow. Not like, okay, well, it is what. No, it's like this car, there's something wrong with it. Maybe that's just because I got a badass Fiesta ST and it was making it feel slow. Anyway, the point is, y'all are sleeping on the Fiesta. For $15,000, you're gonna have it for a long time. And it's probably the newest, cheapest car that you can get and tune. So anyway,
it's probably the newest one on this list.
Yeah, I would think. And besides, like an FRS or something. And an FRS, to be fair, I've got enough money and parts on the Fiesta to where you could have easily thrown a turbo or a supercharger on the 8.6, and then it'd be a different story. But most people are not going to do that. You're going to, mod it from paycheck to paycheck, and the Fiesta is going to give you a ton more bang for the buck. Basically, you're trading rear-wheel drive for 100 horsepower. And the A6 can't break the tires loose, so it doesn't matter if it's rear-wheel drive.
Can I segue this into the FRS? Because that was on.
Go for it.
Yeah. Listen, okay, I'm a Toyota guy. And so obviously like 8.6 on the lineup, super underdog when it came out. And so that idea to kind of bring that balance back, yeah, I know the FRS doesn't have the power that, you know, cars right next to it are putting out. But the whole thing wasn't about, you know, let's get the fastest thing out there. It was all about balance from the beginning. When the original 886 came out, it was all about balance. It wasn't about being as fast or flashy as the MR2 or the Celica Supra. It was, we're gonna do this. This is us, and we're comfortable with where we're at. And look how far the 8.6 has gone around. You can argue that the 886 built, you know, drifting to what it is today. So that whole idea is being rebirthed into what we're seeing today with the don't
get me wrong. Like, even though I get frustrated with its lack of power, it is a fun car to drive. It is on my $10,000 list, meaning when it gets down to 10 or 8 grand, I'll probably have one. At 15 grand, I'd get the Fiesta, personally. I get what you're saying. You know, like I said, there's part of me that loves it. A new 8.6 is the price of a new Mustang GT. There's a right and wrong answer. And I feel bad because there's people that want an 8.6 and they should be able to buy one without feeling like they made the wrong choice. And now, the 8.6 is a $23,000 car max with a $27,000 price tag. No matter how you slice it, it is either too expensive or too underpowered. They got to fix one. And I get it. Like, you know, you take a Fiesta ST, for example, and it is the same car essentially as a Fiesta. So they've made a bajillion of them all across the world, you know, and so it drives the price down. Like, you buy an 8.6 and, like, the headlights are only on an 8.6. The bodies are only on an 8.6. This is totally unique.
A limited,
it drives the price up. Yeah. That's why it is the same price as a Mustang GT, because there's a billion Mustangs out there from 4-cylinder to 6-cylinder to, you know, GTs. But at the end of the day, if you bought the 8.6...
Yeah, if you're buying the 8.6, you're not really looking at the price.
You can't justify it. You got to be like... It's got to be somebody like you that's like, look, I'm a Toyota guy. I freaking love it. Yeah. I love it in this gray color. I'm going to have it for 20 years. I don't care if I'm upside down for 7 of those years. That's okay with me, you know, because I'm going to have... I mean, that's what's going to happen. Like, y'all, if you're looking at FRSs, pay attention. Like, these cars are only 3 years old, and you can't find them at Toyota dealerships, because they are depreciating so fast that they're going to the corner a lot.
Take them.
They can't. You know, like, how do you sell a $27,000 new one if the 3-year-old one's sitting on the lot for 14? Like, you got problems. So they end up having
resale
to sell.
Value is in the toilet for those.
You got to sell them at auction. You got to sell them at the corner dealership, and now that gives it a stigma. You know, and so, like I said, man, we're probably 3 out of the 4 of us will own one, except for Mike. You know, at some point. But
I would own one.
We're all gonna own one. It's gonna be.
I have a Miata, right? And
so you're guaranteed
that naturally aspirated 4-cylinder slow car. I appreciate the Miata because it's Japan's take on a British roadster, right? I think we can all agree on that. That's what the Miata was intended for. Okay, and I think the 8.6 is Toyota's modern version of that. So it's a momentum car. It's something you can rip in and out of corners on. You might not be spooling up, 22 PSI or anything, but you're having a blast on a canyon run, you know?
I do think that
it's something that people who are enthusiasts of that car will never get over. Like, somebody who owns everybody that I know that owns an 8.6 swears by an 8.6.
Yeah.
You know? It's something that, like, once you have it and once you've already done the deed and spent the money, you love it.
Yeah.
It's just that price tag that you have to get over. And even at that point, I mean, why would you even buy a brand new one? I mean, honestly, the first gens look better anyway, and you can pick one up for 11 grand with freaking 30,000 miles on it.
I know.
Like,
and in
20 years, you're going to feel special with that Scion badge for the limited run that it came out. It'll be a nice little lich. I would tell her she's going to start looking at that. Hey man, oh shit, he's got the Scion badge. Kids, let's gather around. Let me tell you about Scion that ran for so many years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I do think that there's going to be a kind of return to the 200 to 300 horsepower cars because cars are getting so idiotically, insanely fast. Take Mike's Mustang, for example. You know, I mean, it's just stupid fast that I think they're getting exponentially faster than the speed limits allow, you know? So I think there's going to be kind of a return to people going, you know what? That's too much now. Like when 600 horsepower becomes the norm, like it becomes okay to like, let's step back as a real enthusiast and buy like an FRS or a Miata or a Fiesta or something like that. But I don't know. I think people will come back.
Great.
The problem is new for new. Come on. I mean, Toyota's got to give us something, right? Like I want a new 86, but and not only that,
it's hard to justify.
You go in there and the Ford dealership is like, tell you what, buddy, you buy this Mustang today, we'll give you 0%, we'll give you a 7-year loan. Whereas Toyota's like, we'll take like $600 off, but see our margin on these cars isn't that high. It's like, seriously? Like, you guys are killing me here. So, I don't know.
I'm okay with it if they would at least give us a turbocharged option. I mean, stick a Focus stick a KO3 on there. I mean, it doesn't have to make any more than 200, 250, and I would be happy. Yes. And I know many people who would be happy to pay that $27,000 price tag. And I would be just as okay with a naturally aspirated option too, because there's people who want that momentum. They want that feeling of just having a great handling car that they can just rip gear to gear and not go over 50 miles an hour, you know? But I would appreciate just a turbocharged option.
Me and Mike were just talking about, I don't know why we got so deep on this FRS 86 thing, but like, dude, the car was geared at like people, you know, like Hunter and Jesse, y'all's age, you know, like you get to that mid-20s. Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna buy myself a new car. It's gonna be a sports car. I'm gonna pay it off. I'll pay on it. I'll pay on my student loans. Like I'm gonna get my life started. 3 years later, you're 10 grand upside down in the damn car. You know, you go back to Toyota who you bought it from, and they're like, oh, well, your trade-in is in the somewhere else. Yeah, your trade-in's in the 4 digits. You know, and you're just like, my God, you've wrecked the next 10 years of my life for buying this new like. That's a problem. That's a problem for Toyota Toyota's whole thing is like, let's get these guys when they're young. Let's get them to buy a couple Toyotas. Let's move them into the Lexus, you know, and stuff like that. Like, but the first one you buy bites you in the ass, you know? Like,
you don't want to touch it.
It makes you sour on the brand.
And not only does it make you sour on the brand, it makes you sour on all new cars. You become one of them assholes that's like, I never buy a new car. You drive it off the lot and you lose, you know, like you become that guy. So, I don't know. Yeah, I think we all agree that we love the FRS. For me, it's like a $12,000 to $8,000 car. That's when I'm going to be like, oh, dang, I really want one now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Whatever. That was like, what?
But it gets cheap enough to where I can throw a turbo on it and blow it up and not care is the price range that I needed to be.
Yeah. Because then, when you get to the point where you're like, well, if I blow it up, I can put an LS in it. You know, when it gets, or a 2J or whatever. And when it gets that cheap, it's on.
Yeah.
Then everybody's going to have one, and we're going to hate them because everybody's going to have one.
Probably.
Yeah, but all the guys who buy them don't want to let go of them.
That's true.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody has them now anyways. I see those things everywhere.
I know. When did that happen? Because, like, I swear, like, I didn't know they made that many in 2013, 14, whatever it is, because now they're everywhere. It's kind of like
2 years
S2000
ago, I got hooked up with a club here in Jacksonville, and they invite me all the time to track events all the time, and now I fucking see them anywhere. I mean, it does help that my best bud has a really, really nice FRS, which I'll share a little bit later on, but yeah, I get pretty deep in those.
Cool. All right.
I think we're on mic now.
Yeah, we're on mic.
Okay. Well, Wooly, you talked a lot about that Fiesta, so I'm going to talk about the car that you're going to trade it in for. The Camaro SS.
I knew it was coming. I knew it.
I see.
Now tell me everything about why the Camaro SS is awesome and why you're going to get rid of that little Skittle to get one of these things.
Well, first of all, I don't
That
think...
little Skittle.
It's like you've never heard of a car being referred to as a Skittle. I'm glad you got a kick out of that.
Oh my god.
I don't think you can buy an SS for 15 grand, and I don't think that because I've been looking. I mean, you can find one from Jose's corner lot or whatever for 15 grand, maybe, with some sort of... No offense, Jesse.
That's my friend, dude. That's my buddy.
Some sort of, yeah. I mean,
That was good.
you can find them. You can find them, but they usually have a kit that's kind of half fallen off, and the interior is a little scuzzy. But whatever, you can find it, so it's fair enough. And I mean, you want me to justify your choice? It's totally freaking badass. I mean, dude, come on.
Stars and bars. Stars and bars.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, the Camaro is totally bitchin'. The 5th gen, I think, is one of those cars that a lot of us tuners kind of didn't really give a whole lot of acknowledgement to until all of a sudden now it gets a little bit older and we're like, dude, those things are freaking badass. Like,
they don't have the LS3 motor, right?
Yeah,
They're making over 400 horsepower. It's a monster of a car, man.
Yeah, they got the LS3 in them, which is, an awesome LS. It's already in there. It's going to run. You can't see out of it. That's actually pretty cool. That's not a con.
Like a little visor, basically.
Yeah, dude, like, I think it's already an icon. I mean, as much better as the Gen 6 is and everybody knows it, like, that Gen 5 is just freaking cool, man. So yeah, if you could get one for 15 grand without 140,000 miles on it, like I'd jump. Well, I'm probably going to.
Listen,
yeah, dude, I'm on Craigslist right now. Here's one for 10 grand with under 100,000 miles.
Oh, see, yeah, you're looking at Craigslist. See, I hadn't gone that far yet. I've just been looking at like the Chevy dealers trying to get these cars.
Oh, you're getting the dealership markup.
Yeah, them certified pre-owned, so I can void that warranty.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought about a Camaro until I saw the new 1LE.
Yeah,
like I saw the 1LE, and I was like, holy.
Dude, like, and that's part of what fascinates me about the Camaro. Like, the Mustang has crossed over into a everybody loves it chassis. You know what I mean? Like, you could be an import guy, you like a Mustang. You could be 90, you like the new Mustang. You could be 16, you like the new Mustang. Everybody digs it. I don't know if it was Von Gittin or Ken Block or both, but like the Ford's crossed over. Chevy the Camaro hadn't crossed over like that. So I think
it's in transition.
Man, dude, I think if I had a Gen 5 and we did the right things to it, people could... I just think people would be like, well, son of a bitch, man. I would have never thought. And I
think it's in transition. I think if we're a little bit patient, it'll get there.
Well, I think as the price on these killer cars come down... See, that's what's so weird about like what's going on, because you got... The American V8s have been making some killer shit, like the SRT8 and the Mustang GT, since 2011 or whatever, and the Gen 5 Camaros and now Gen 6 Camaros. As these cars come down, it's going to kill everything. I mean, like, what I mean by kill everything is all these import cars. Like, dude, even as the FRS depreciates, well, guess what? So is the Camaro and the Mustang. And there's still going to be a right answer here. And so pretty soon... We're going to be in a world of 400 to 450 horsepower cars that are 15 grand. 10 to 15 grand. What's that going to do to the Evos? Yeah. What's that going to do to the SIs and the FRSs and the 370Zs in these cars? The only problem is that an average 25 and under-year-old guy, can't insure it. You're going to spend more on your insurance than on the car.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that's something that's going to, like, encourage all of these imports to kind of step up?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, if
I
you
think
look
you
at
can tell Honda's been
if
stepping
where
up.
everything is now and FRS was built a little bit later, do you think they might have, added a little bit more power? Because
Yes.
now we're going into a market where we're obviously away from that eco era where everything was eco, and we're getting more back into the, the power band of the driver.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if the FRS came out today, it would have to have more power than it currently has.
I mean, it's not even competitive with the amount of power that it makes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to see some crazy stuff going on when these SRT8s and these, SSs and GTs all fall to that $15,000 range, which is...
Well, and that'll kind of, in my opinion, that'll kind of be like the revamp of the tuner market. It'll be just like when all the Hondas got super cheap that were built in the 90s, and all of a sudden the scene just exploded with people modifying the shit out of these things. Think about when these, bone stock 430, 460 horsepower Mustangs are all of a sudden cheap enough to where you can just go, hey guys, I got $8,000. You want to go buy a fucking race car?
Hell yeah. Let's just cut the
be
pies.
A dangerous age.
Yeah.
Let's just
so
bleed our ears with
so
freedom.
many Mustangs in the ditch and running over crowds of people, even more than now.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I crowd kill T-shirts all over the place.
But see, that's the thing, dude. Like, I know, like, y'all are younger, but, like, when the first import revolution started happening, there was, like, this excitement behind it. Like, we just didn't give a damn, man. Like, we were, we all knew a Mustang out of the box was faster, but it wasn't cool to buy an out of the box fast car, and so we didn't care. Like, it just wasn't on the table, and there was so much energy behind the imports. Let's be honest, there's not...
The American cars didn't really have the styling for us either. They looked
all
like
got
mullet mobiles. I mean...
They were generic. And everything that was plaguing the domestics in the 90s is plaguing the imports now. Like, they've gotten generic, there's not... Like, when we were talking, I think it was before we hit record, it's like $15,000, like a WRX, been there, Evo, been there. Like, all these cars, we've seen them 1,000 times. Let me guess, they're red, silver, black, or white. They got bronze or black wheels on them. Like, it's been done so many times.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, these big bad V8s, it's like, wait a second, man. Like, this is kind of...
demanding the attention.
This is kind of cool. Like, all the things that we used to, like, hate about them. Like, oh, they're sloppy, you're going to end up in a ditch. Now it's like, you're going to end up in a ditch in this car. Like, this is dangerous, Like, this is... and so it's all becoming appealing. And so now, to be out of the box and to honestly not give a shit what people think, those guys are buying domestics. And the people that care a lot about what people think are buying imports. The expected cars, and they're bagging them and doing the expected things on the expected wheels, and they're literally turning the tables and they don't even realize it. They're becoming exactly what my generation retaliated against with the imports,
What's funny is these big, bad, modded out V8s are already starting to show their heads. I went to the grocery store earlier today in my Mustang, and I ran across a supercharged Camaro and another supercharged Mustang in just a quick trip down to the grocery store 2 miles away. So they're already running around all over the place.
I'm just picturing this like flying V of Eagles.
There's
To
so
be
much
fair,
torque in this parking lot.
Yeah.
To be fair, Mike lives literally 2 minutes from Road Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's fair.
Flowery Branch, Georgia. Think they got a couple of supercharged V8s around there? Yeah.
Maybe. I'm just saying they're already showing up.
Yeah. No, it's gonna freaking happen.
Yeah.
The only bummer is the sub 20, the 24 and under crews can't. They're gonna have to do it with the STs and shit. Like, that's just gonna have to happen.
You gotta earn it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something. Once you get over 25, you don't think about it. But yeah, under 25, they're gonna be like, that's $600 a month to ensure that car.
The hell?
Yeah, because statistically, you're going to crash it. Like, it's gonna happen. So
you're gonna see some of your buds who are in the military, like, I've got money to blow straight out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to drive it, too. It's those guys that get back from the military and go, all right, let's do it. Because they're going to go straight for superchargers and turbos and all that.
Sir, freedom, I want to feel it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Whose turn is it? That was Mike, right? Yeah,
Mike.
You were
That
the
would be
SS.
Hunter.
All right. So, R32 Skyline. Yeah, you may not be able to get like a GTR. You may not be able to get like a GTR, but I was doing some research today, and you can definitely get a pretty nice GTST. Like,
cool.
There's a few GTRs that had like 60,000 miles on them, but
Yeah.
I mean, take that for what it is. But you could get, depending on if you care about all that. I mean, I would go for the GTR if I'm spending the money on an imported Skyline. But if you didn't, and you just wanted that JDM feel, you could get a pretty nice GTST for around 15.
Fair enough.
I dig it.
I'd go with it. I don't know. Okay, so you said the mileage. I don't know. Listen, you're talking to Toyota guy. Mileage just doesn't matter. That shit'll run for $500,000. You'll have to change the water pump. Yeah, so I don't know.
You'll have to change the water pump.
Water pump, and then it's good for another $500,000. You're good. So, like, I don't know what that fine line is for this. I don't know. I mean, to me, you say 60,000 miles. I'm like, hell yeah, like I'm ready to go.
But you're also looking at like a true imported right-hand drive, nostalgic Skyline.
Yeah.
So these people that are buying these cars, I mean, face it, over there you could pick up a GTST for $5,000. Here you're looking at pushing 20 for like the base model Skyline that nobody wants over there, just because you just want to put your foot in the water, you know?
Yeah.
So it's that where it comes in. If you're spending that kind of money on a car that you already don't care about what you're spending, you care about what the car is. You know, you're not pinching pennies at that point.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
but are you like driving it, like for what it's worth? Are you like pushing it? Or are you kind of like keeping it in the garage, bringing it out to Cars and Coffee maybe once or twice a week?
Yeah.
hey, there's my girlfriend goes to the University of Alabama, and there's a dude that daily drives an R32 there, and it is ragged out. And I don't know how he got it or where he got it from, but
See,
like
that's kinda cool.
the tail lights
How
taped on. Like, I'm like, where did you get this thing? How did this come into fruition?
Listen, I got a heart for
He
somebody.
treats it like what it is.
Yeah. I got a heart for somebody who's going to like get it, especially a sports car. Like a lot of people will get it and they'll just kind of baby it. And I understand you're trying to preserve it or whatever, but like this car was built to, you know, to have fun in. And if you're not doing that, like you're holding it back from somebody else who could be having it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. On a smaller scale from that. So for those who don't know that are watching this, I have a 2017 Focus ST and I also have a 91 Miata. So when I got the Focus ST brand new, and you know, for me being younger, I was like, this is like a freaking C7 ZR1. I was like, this thing is awesome. I can never take it out of the garage. So I got the Miata, and I'm like, I'm going to drive the Miata everywhere. I'm never driving the Focus. And then I put like 30,000 on the Focus in a year. So like, I could not be that guy. I'm just like, this thing's fast as fuck. Like, just ripping gears. I don't know. I could never be that guy that just put it in a garage, but I would also never be the guy to buy a McLaren or anything. I'd be the one to spend McLaren money on a freaking, I don't know, a Miata. I would probably put a 2J in a Miata before I bought anything of actual value.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I went with the old 911, because those cars can be driven and still retain like respect and value and appreciate and all of that. You know, like, I mean, like, dude, my 911 is not by any means pristine. You know, it's okay at best, but that's fine because I can take it out and I can drive it, and I don't worry about rock chips. I don't even notice them. You know, like it's just okay. Like, I put my bike on the back, and I have to put the bike upside down, and the seat rubs like the wing, you know, the whale tail, and it kind of slides around, and it's wearing the paint off the top, and it's like, son of a bitch, I'm wearing the paint off the top, and then it's like, man, it's okay, because that's my part of the timeline, you know? Like, at some point, somebody's going to be like, then this asshole with dreads had it and put a bike on it, and that's why this paint is gone here. But, like, it all has part of the story, you know? It's all kind of there. So, I don't know. Yeah.
But even at that point, it's not, like, detrimental. I mean, it is in the case if you want, like, 100% original. But I mean, you can always get the car
Well,
repainted.
and I'd rather people, if I was ever going to sell it, I'm sure that a buyer would almost rather see it for what it is. You know, you end up restoring it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they, you know, somebody tells me they look harder. Like, you know, like if it's too nice, then it's kind of, at least the way it is now, they know the story. It's not hiding anything. It's a 40-year-old car, you know, and so that's what it is.
I feel like you're also buying into a solid community with the Porsches. Anybody who I know who's really invested in the Porsche community, if they ever bought one and sold one, they never skipped a year where they didn't own, you know, one type of Porsche anywhere.
Yeah.
So there's a whole community you're getting into, which I think is, I mean, almost like the Jeep community. I mean, I see people waving on Jeeps.
There's some cool Porsche owners. There's some real fragile Porsche owners, too. You know,
yeah, it's got a wide variety.
Drinking mimosas at the races, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, no, especially with the older ones, there's definitely a very cool community. But all right, wait, I'm lost. Whose turn?
Jesse.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
I'm nervous. You've been throwing out some weird stuff.
Yeah. All right, listen. So my buddy across the street, he's got a drag Hayabusa.
There's the bike.
Suzuki.
I was like, and what's that got
Jesse
to do
said
with
he's
anything?
throwing in a bike.
Listen, I mean, you could talk all speed.
You want
or
to
whatever.
die in 5 seconds. This
Yes.
is the bike for you.
Hey,
Oh,
in
yeah.
that case, let's throw in that Hayabusa swap Suzuki Swift that y'all had come out to
Yes.
Formula Z.
Yeah.
That thing was ridiculous.
I've sat.
That thing was
I've
nuts.
been on one before. Listen, I'm a big guy, so like, you know, it felt right. It's like the Cadillac, size-wise, it's like the Cadillac of the motorcycle. It's fucking huge, and it just feels so right between my legs, you know. And it feels so when you rank back and you've got that drag pipe over there just shooting off to anybody behind you. You made it. You're fast and you're burning the people behind you. It's.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Those things are nuts, but I'm going to be honest. That is probably the most funky looking motorcycle I've ever seen in my life.
For sure.
They don't make me want a motorcycle.
I mean, it looks like a Batmobile mixed with like a Ninja Turtle. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just.
I'm a fan of more of like the first gen Hayabusa, but
I don't even know.
I mean, it's not. We're not in the 15 range quite yet with that. But once you get it ready for the track, you're getting there quick.
Okay.
I'm more of a Yamaha R1 or like a Repsol guy or something like around those lines. Something simple, something crotch rocket-ish.
Supermoto,
something.
man. Supermoto.
Not something that I'm going to go to downtown Birmingham and get mugged.
Yeah, I mean,
You take a Hayabusa to downtown Birmingham, you're not going to own a Hayabusa anymore.
See, your problem is you're hitting the brake too much.
yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess the argument can be made that for 15 grand, you got supercar performance or whatever.
Oh yeah, you're gonna
know
be up at Neverlift easily.
You know what I hate? I hate the sports bike owners that are like, yeah, I beat this car. I beat this car. Yeah, I beat whatever. I beat a Corvette. Of course you did. You weighed 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate those guys. I've got a buddy that's in a bunch of motorcycle clubs, and he has like a Supermoto, and before that he had some wicked Repsol thing, and he's like, I beat a McLaren. I beat this. I'm like, no one cares.
Yeah.
We know
Doesn't
going to.
count. Yeah.
It doesn't. Frustrates me, man.
All right.
I guess I'm
Angry.
just jealous because I want a bike.
See, I
really-
don't. I don't want to
I
have
wanna-
to put a helmet on to go to the grocery store.
Ah,
That's
I'll just
the
move
truth.
down to Jesse's place. You don't have to wear a helmet then.
That's true. Florida.
that's bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
also the place you would want to wear a helmet.
Yeah, you're going to die.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
guys,
one
you
thing.
want
I wouldn't
brain
trust
damage?
anybody around me.
If
If you're getting one, you don't have a brain to protect anyways.
Yeah. All right.
Willie, I think you're up.
C5 Vet.
Ah, damn it! You stole my next one.
Yeah, either, I mean, obviously a Z06 if I could scoop one up for 15
I think you can get kind of shitty Z06s for 15.
Yeah.
You think it'd be shitty? I don't think it would be.
It wouldn't be great.
Yeah,
You think?
It wouldn't be.
Because I saw a good
You can get a pretty nice non-Z06. It all depends what you want to do. Are you trying to have a future collectible? Or are you trying to just have a cool street car with a Targa top? The choice is up to you.
I'm tired.
Pretty nice FRC.
I mean, I want the Z06 or else screw it. I want the Targa top.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like one of the two. But I don't know.
He wants to let the mullets fly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a badass damn car, man. I was just hanging out with one of my neighbors that's got a C5 convertible supercharged. It's just freaking cool, man. Yeah, it's totally like the old man, whatever, you know.
Okay, you're at that age. You can justify that. Run that age, bro.
I mean, all I need is the New Balance, and I'm good. I'm also at the age where I don't give a damn anymore. You know, in like my 20s, I cared. And in my 30s, I'm just like, it's a cool car. You know, like, cool car is a cool car. So, yeah, for the money, I don't, especially if you could scoop a Z06, you're not going to lose any money on that. It's going to hold for another year and then start creeping, you know? So it makes it, I guess, the one on my list so far that's actually a financially good choice.
Yeah. I dig it.
Yeah.
And I hate that it's like the best choice because it's so basic. A C5 is so basic, but you just can't go wrong with it. You can't say no. Like, you could swear by imports, but if you had a C5 offered to you, I don't know one person that would say no.
I mean, but like, forget the fact that it's made by Chevy. Like, look at the C5 body lines. They're pretty importy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is a swoopy, curvy, sexy, low, little, wide car, man. I mean, looks good.
There's nothing else like it for the era that it was.
Yeah.
Everybody else was just starting to get out of that kind of that square phase when the C5 came out, and the Chevy's like, you know what? Let's just round everything.
Yeah. And that's what's going to make it timeless. That's what's going to be in another 20 years. People are going to be like, damn, that C5 is a good one. You know, like, I think the C5 and the C6 both are going to be pretty praised cars. And you say they're basic. Yes, but you probably hadn't seen them in the right scenario. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I was at Monterey at the auctions a couple years ago now. I guess it was 2 years ago almost. And so they were starting up the auctions, and they did like the anthem and all of that. And then fucking AC/DC came on, you know, like right after that. And they're playing like Thunderstruck or something. And I'm sitting here looking at these freaking Corvette convertibles out of the 60s. And I'm just like, dude, this is badass. And it is totally lost on the import generation. Because we look at it like, God dang Corvettes, they got no style. They do. It's just sometimes the clientele doesn't. It doesn't mean that the car doesn't.
I think that'll grow just as much as the Mustang went, because I would say I felt the same way about Mustangs. But look where they're at now. So give it some time. Drill a hole in the back to fit into your flagpole, and then let that listen. You'll be okay with it.
Yeah, like once you start to embrace it, it's like it all comes together, man. It all aligns. It makes sense. So all right, Mike, what's yours?
All right, I'm gonna go back to the Euro trash party and pick the worst financial decision so far: the BMW 335i.
Oh
my god.
I love it and I hate it. They're so unreliable.
You go to the club.
I know.
You probably go to a club and drink drinks out of little glasses with things.
I knew I was going to catch shit for this car.
Drinks with snacks on Q-tips.
Like,
look, this you probably try to rent a VIP table in that club too, don't you?
Probably. Lie to everybody, tell them I own it. This is one of those cars that when you look at just the spec sheet of it and the actual car itself, it's a no-brainer. But then you actually see that it's a hunk of shit and costs a ton of money to fix, and it kind of ruins it. But it's still a cool car for the short period of time it runs.
Yeah. It's like any Porsche that you can get for 15 grand, or Maserati. You can afford the car, but you can't afford to own it.
For all those supercharged AMG Mercedes that were $100,000 and now they're 12.
It's like you can buy the car, but that's just the first little piece of the puzzle that's going to rape you and ruin your life.
Yep.
It's a BMW enthusiast car is what it is. Yeah. It's not something that you would go, I have this amount of money, I'm going to get a 335i. It's going to be something that I've been a BMW owner. I know what I'm supposed to expect.
I know what I'm getting into. I know how to work on it.
I'm ready to step into this. I will change the oil every time I take it out of the garage.
I've got all the specialty tools.
And I'm just going to transfer my Gaunt Vanos plate right on the front.
It will be the guy that like purposely goes to junkyards and takes the toolkits out of the trunks just so he has extras.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, that's the guy.
Yep.
All right. The thing is, Mike, that's not you. You would get that car and be like,
I would never buy it.
I hate this.
I would never buy it.
Yeah.
It would break one time, and I just put a for sale sign on it.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Do you guys have more cars? I don't know if I have more cars.
Golf GTI.
What? Mark 5? 6? 6. You can get a 6.
Yeah. Yeah. They're actually really, because I was thinking early 2000s this might be where we were, but they're actually really cheap. They're not that expensive right off the line. So you could get just about a brand new one for in between 15 and 20. So get a little bit older one, maybe 30, 35,000 miles. You could get one right at the 15 grand mark. And
I don't think you get a 7 at 15. I think you get a 6. A good 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get a good 6 for 15. Maybe you could get a Mark 7, but I don't know. Yeah, I had a Mark 6, and it's a nice car.
Yeah.
I'm nervous to get on the... I feel like if I got one, I'd get bit and be stuck with it forever.
You know what I do want? Tell me why this is a bad idea and why I never see them. Like an 04 Jetta GLI.
I'm a fan. When I was first buying a car,
that was... Recaro's 1.8 turbo. It's got BBSs from factory.
That's probably why you never see them. It's got the 1.8 turbo.
Yes, they're all broken.
I think it's a 6-speed. Maybe it's 5-speed.
No, I think it's
pretty sure it's a 6-speed. Why do I see them nowhere? I don't understand.
I guess they all died.
I was really excited about the thought of getting one when I was first buying a car.
Yeah, when I was like 15. There was one for sale at a used car dealership down the road from me, and I didn't know what it is. I didn't know anything about cars, but it was blue.
Yeah,
it was
the hot blue. Yes,
it was all armor-alled up, and I was like, I don't know what it is, but I want it. I want it.
Yeah, no, they were cool then. In that generation, that era, they were pretty cool. I think they got a little bit diluted as they got newer. I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen one just driving down the road.
I
cannot think of a time when I have, and I don't understand why. Because it seems, from an internet perspective, like a killer car. But I don't know.
Last time I saw one had to be like 5 years ago. It was on my way from Gainesville Raceway, and it was in front of me. And the rear axle, something was weird because it was like doing that dog walk where the rear axle was just bent over to the left. And it was like doing this sideways forward. It was like my dog when she was really old, she was walking sideways.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the 2-liter kind of killed it in a way, because once they came out with the Mark 5s, those 2-liters were pretty damn tunable. And then I think the Volkswagen reliability, man. I don't know. But they're cool.
They do look cool.
Yeah, it's just so weird how Volkswagens never get outside of the little badge scene. The Volkswagen Audi scene. It's like the people that are Volkswagen fans live and die Volkswagen, and then nobody else gives a damn. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I was saying. That's what I'm slightly low key terrified of. If I ever got one,
you'd fall into it. Yeah, it'd be forever.
Oh man.
They're good cars. They get you. They're just You know, they're complicated. And that's kind of the attraction, but that's also the frustration. You know, it's like, oh, I need a turn signal bulb for my GTI. That'll be $45 in 3 days. So you're like, how? Like, why would they do that? Like, you know, so it's that kind of stuff. So you're either attracted to that or you're not. You know, that's either a plus or negative. I mean, they're awesome cars if you stay on top of them.
Volkswagens are terrifying. My girlfriend's parents have a 2013. It's a Jetta. It's GLI, so it's not like a sports car anymore. Post like 05, I think, but it's the hybrid version.
What?
And so I saw it for the first time, and I mean it just looks like a normal Jetta. But the fact that knowing the history of Volkswagen reliability and knowing that thing is a hybrid, terrified me. So then we drove it to Austin, Texas. Me and her did. We borrowed it one because I wasn't driving my Focus out there because I was still I'm not putting a single mile on it.
Freaking exotic.
So we're like, let's borrow your parents' Jetta because it gets like 50,000 miles to the gallon because it's a hybrid.
Yeah.
And I found out on the way there that it has that weird system that takes the energy that it's built for the hybrid, and when you press the brakes, it sends that energy to the brakes. So it stops twice as hard if you barely press on the brakes. So I'm coming up to a red light, like right around the corner, and I like skirted to a stop, and I barely pressed the brakes. And I was like, you know what? I'm not driving this thing. I made her drive. I was like, I'm going to cause a wreck. But if you put it in neutral, it stops like a normal car. But as soon as you put it back in drive and press the brakes, it stops like it's got.
This is the asshole who stops like 500 feet before the stoplight.
Yeah.
Yes, I swear.
This is off topic, but speaking of hybrids, have you guys seen how cheap freaking Priuses are that are like only 5 years old, 6 years old, or something like that? Like, they're stupid cheap, and I don't know if that's because they're needing expensive maintenance or whatever, but they're almost at the point where it's like, dang, I should have one of these just for gas saver. You know, like they're depreciating.
Are we seeing them at like 5 or 6?
Yes, dude. Like stupid cheap. Like that point where like even like the manliest car guy's like, wait a second, like God, that cheap? Like I should get one just to screw with it. You know, like when they get that cheap. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they all need batteries and it's, totals them out. I don't know anything about them, but they're like ridiculous.
You know what I'm seeing stupid cheap? I've been seeing, my brother's looking for a car. He's 15 looking for a car. And I just happened to get on Craigslist, scroll through. I put like $3,000 as the limit. And I was seeing Mazda Speed 3 after Mazda Speed 3. And I don't understand how. Because that's a pretty, kick-ass little car. And they're not that old. I mean, what do they go back to? Like 2008, 2006, something like that? Yeah. It's got to be worth more than $3,000. You can't be telling me that car is that awful.
Know that.
I don't hear any shit about it either.
I think it's the same chassis as your Focus.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of parts crossover.
It's interesting. I didn't know.
We should all buy Mazda Speed 3s. Well,
I thought about it.
Guys got one. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Also, at the same point, it's like you want to buy it just because it's for $3,000 and you're seeing them everywhere, but it just seems like too nice of a car for $3,000.
Yeah.
Like, what has Mazda got messed up in this thing that nobody wants to tell me about until I end up with it? Because I've done that before. I bought a 30-year-old brown Miata with supposedly 100,000 miles on it. I have been sucked into that before. I'm not doing it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Popped the hood on the Miata after I got home and saw the entire engine bay was red.
What, you think you got an actual brown Miata?
I figured as much, but it was just kind of like you open. I mean, I looked at it when I was there, but you just open it and you're like,
Son of a.
I'm in a world of trouble, especially when you take the cluster off, because I had to work on the gauge cluster, because it said when I bought it, it had just rolled 115,000 miles. And I took the hood off of the cluster and saw red paint on the top of the cluster.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what that means. I'm like,
Yeah.
This ain't no OG Doodoo Brown.
Yeah. Well, bummer.
It's something.
Who else? Whose turn is it? Where the hell are we in this?
No.
I think it's Jesse.
Cars left?
Jesse had
I've
like
got a
10.
couple. Yeah, I've got a couple honorable mentions.
Okay, mention.
I saw some newer WRX STIs just under 5, and we're talking like 14,999.
I'm gonna be that super basic dude and say a Hawkeye STI in white with some blue wheels is my dream car.
Yeah.
Like
Not blue with the gold wheels.
no,
Wait.
because like
thought
that's
that's
what
all
I
they
wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do on my Focus. I wanted to do white with some blue wheels, some blue Volks. Not that I could ever afford Volks like at all, but I would love to do that. And so that I don't know why. I just love that big wing, that sedan. I don't know what it is. I just can't get away from it. Everybody tells me do not get that Boxer, but I want it. I want it in my life.
If I can eventually be comfortable with working on the motor or anything under the hood, because it is crammed under there. Like, you open it up. Like, for me, my car right now, I open the hood, and if I ever want to open up the head or whatever, it's not too much of a hassle. But with the WRX, you've got the intercooler. I mean, there's just so much inside the hood, and it's not too different. The interior, like size-wise and how much space you're working with, is not too different than my '97 Corolla.
Damn Corollas.
Yeah, listen, it'll last. But yeah, the size and interior isn't that much different.
I don't know. I am terrified working on the Boxer because I know if I were to get it, something's going to go wrong. It's going to have to be replaced. I mean, it is what it is. It's what we're all going to have to face when buying an enthusiast car like that.
Yeah.
But I just can't. Every part of my head is telling me no. But there's something like the other day when I was looking at $10,000 cars for the last podcast. I typed in WRX, and it popped up a white WRX for $12,000 with 60,000 miles on it, and it had a button for trade-in value. And I was like, do I really like my Miata that much? Do I really like it that much? It's brown. Come on, like.
Yeah. I mean, I think those first gens, whatever they call them, the Hawkeyes and 04 or whatever, they're going to be iconic.
Yeah.
Those are the ones for sure. Which ones were you finding, Jesse, at 15? The wagons?
No. Yeah. It is the wagon. It's not. Yeah. It's the one that I played on a Dirt 3.
Those things have major freaking problems, though, right?
The wagon or the hatchback?
Hatchback, whatever.
Yeah. Or the hot hatch or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
That was the first. It was the first car that I thought, like, all right, I can do this hot hatch situation, maybe.
I used to hate hatches, and now here I am with the Focus ST. Now I would drive that. So, another car I came across looking for stuff for my brother. I came across a $4,000 Outback 5-speed, and you don't ever think about it. That 5-speed freaking slam with some like 17s on it, I would drive the piss out of that thing. Straight pipe it, have that pure Boxer rumble. I'd drive that thing everywhere. I'd never get rid of it. I put the entire heck, I could have 9 kids at that point. Like,
Jesus.
I mean, yeah, that's cool. People like to try and off-road them.
It's been done.
Oh yeah.
Or a WRX wagon. Those are cool. They're a little bit uglier. I like the Outback better, but.
See, I like the WRX wagons.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right. Well, I think I'm out. Trying to think.
I'm surprised nobody threw out 370Z.
No.
Like in 08, 09.
Yeah, I mean, but we got Camaro SSs.
Yeah, I've got Genesis Coupe here on the list, but it's not really worth talking about with everything else that we threw out there.
Yeah, I thought about the Genesis Coupe, but
I thought
it's a
about
good looking car, but it's not very
Genesis
tunable.
Coupe has all wanted something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about a G8. You know, if you could get like the GXP or something. I don't know if you really could. But I don't know. You can see where I'm going with this. I'm just going straight to LS's. You know, like C5 and G8s and SS's and all that.
I wish we could get a
It's the 4th of July, man.
Drastic.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's all the America in the in the air right now. I mean, what else? What else for 15 grand really excites you?
The Polaris Slingshot.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. I'm always gonna say yeah.
Yeah. I love that car. I had so much fun just hooning that thing around.
Yeah.
This one won't be too popular, but it's a car that, if done right, would look really, really good. Boxster S.
Yeah.
There's a shit ton of them out there. You can get them for so cheap.
Yeah.
And everybody hates them right now, so it's the perfect time to get one.
Yeah, it's the perfect time to get it.
Yep. Yeah, no. I think wasn't that on my $10,000 list if you could score?
I think it was.
I think I was kind of like S2000/Boxster. Yeah, Boxster always kind of makes it in there for me because it's like, why are you guys not on this? Like, this is awesome. Yeah. But it's another one of those cars that most people, I mean, at $10,000 you can afford the car, but you probably can't afford the first problem that you have. You know, it's gonna screw your life.
It's not gonna have as many problems as the BMWs and the Mercedes and shit like that, but it's still gonna have problems.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it shouldn't have. It's not like they're finicky. It's just that when they have problems or need maintenance, you've got to have a lift in a lot of cases to do it. You know, you got to be like a freaking tech. But the value on those cars are inevitably, especially on the S or something special like that, is gonna get silly later on down the road. And I mean, with the Boxster S, it's got some freaking style and pedigree. You know what I mean? Like it's not. The S2000's the smarter choice in a lot of cases, but the Boxster's more. You know what I mean? It just is. So yeah, that'd be a cool one.
It's another enthusiast car. Like,
yeah, it's just not
the Porsche guys are gonna know and they're gonna want it, but you get your average
that void though, like
guys, and they're gonna pick. You know, so like if you had a Porsche guy and you gave him a choice of the Boxster S or the S2000, hands down they're gonna choose
no
the
doubt,
Boxster S. But if you just throw it in front of your regular tuner dude, he's totally gonna pick the S2000. It just depends on where you're at
in your life,
you know.
Yeah,
because like there's no way I would pick the Boxster S over the S2000. That's just me, just because of what I feel like I could do with it.
Yeah.
And but I don't know.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No, I get it. Because if you're 20 years old or 25 or whatever with a Boxster S, you got like no home. You know what I mean? Like
that's it. You're in there.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna try and play with
bought my first house.
Yeah.
At 23.
You're gonna try and
it came with wheels.
You're gonna try and play with the import guys, and they're not gonna understand you.
Play.
And then you're gonna try and play with the Porsche guys, and you're not gonna understand them. You're not gonna feel like those are your people. So yeah, you're gonna be in no man's land. So an S2000 all day. Plus you can pop the hood and put a freaking cold air intake on it and be happy.
Yeah.
You try and do that with the Boxster, you're gonna be frustrated.
Speaking of the S2000, I'm seeing those everywhere right now. Yeah. I am passing those things left and right.
Yeah.
And I don't understand when that happened, because I used to never see them. It was like super rare that I saw an S2000.
That's what I mean. Now, I see more now than I swear I think they made. I don't understand.
I know, right?
Like when
I
they were
didn't even know they made them as late as they did. Yeah. I thought they stopped making them in like 04, 05. They went all the way up to 09.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know where they're all coming from. I guess people had them as weekend cars. Like older people had them as weekend cars or whatever, little toys.
Value dropped, and then everybody picked them up.
Yeah, they
price.
unloaded them, and now all the kids are buying them and just streeting the hell out of them. I don't know. I freaking love them.
They're killer.
Sometimes,
I would love to drive one. I've not gotten to drive one yet. I would love to drive it just to see what it's like. Because I hear it's like a Miata on steroids.
Yeah, well, having a...
You gotta rev the balls out of it to really have fun. You gotta be playing
the
with
Honda
RPMs.
world. Like, but the thing is, a convertible with VTEC and rear-wheel drive is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
In the same breath...
Convertible. There's Wooly with the convertibles again.
Yeah, in the same breath,
All that air just to blow in the wind.
The Boxster S with the motor behind you screaming is freaking awesome, too.
I hear those things sound pretty nasty, too.
Hell yeah. Well, you can hear the air getting sucked in right behind you, like, it's cool. And it's total James Dean shit. It's got way more style. But, that's the problem with the freaking S2000 is, I'm going to piss some people off, but the S2000 community is going down the damn toilet, as the price of the cars go down. The car is still great. There's still cool people out there that own them, but it's real quickly getting a stigma, And that's a freaking shame, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, if you asked my wife, for example, should I get the Boxster S or the S2000, there is zero freaking question there. Like, one is a Porsche and one is a fucking Honda, that's going to look like shit in the driveway. Like,
That's one word. Fucking Honda is one word.
Fucking Honda.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know. But the SD, I don't know. It's freaking awesome. It's an iconic Honda. So, I don't know.
Did I hear correctly that the motor of the S2000 is far enough behind the front axle that it's technically
a mid-engine? And it's technically made more power per liter than any other car up till that point. That's what I mean. Like, the S2000 is a very significant car on a lot of levels. So
way ahead of its time.
Yeah. It's just got to go through this, slump that it gets when it's at that $8,000 price point, and then
I want to pick one up so bad because I know it's going to shoot right back up.
Yeah,
I know it is, and I know it's soon. But I
don't think it'll be too soon. I think you got some time.
You got some time, and you can buy one, take it to Race Wars, pick up some Jettas on your way.
Yeah. Boom!
But at that point, I'm going to be that stupid basic bitch and get an STI. I know. If I go to chunk out the change for a freaking S2000, I'm going to turn right around to the STI around the corner, throw it at it, and have no clue how to work on it, and sell it 2 months later.
You look like you drive an STI. Like, that tank top is the STI tank top.
That's my vape pen. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you should get one already. It was made for you. But you'd have to get rid of the ST.
I can't. I got to have both. I have to have both in my life.
I don't do that. Me and
Mike
had a big conversation today about simplifying and all that kind of crap.
Don't blame me for your problems. Let's not get into that right now.
Yeah, no, I got my ass kicked by a 94 Pathfinder.
Bad mistakes, man. Mistakes were made.
What were you trying to do? Change the ball joints?
Yeah, the tie rod ends, ball joints, CV axles. I was like, this thing runs, but let's just kind of clean it up. And now it's freaking just
in pieces.
Honeymoon is over. I want it gone. So I say that now. Once I get it fixed, I'll be like, we're good. But it was bad. So
I want to know, where is your CRX?
It is at my in-laws' house.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to see it because I hear
you
tons
should
of people
buy
talking about it.
You should buy it. That's even better than seeing it.
Oh shit!
Somebody's got to buy this car before a tree grows through it, and it's such.
Is it running?
It was when I parked it. You ever heard? I had it running 3 or 4 months ago. I went and started it. Hadn't run since then. But yeah, it'll run. It'll take maybe a day to give it a little bit of love, clean the inside out and stuff. But it's a running car. It was freaking bitching when I parked it. But if you guys don't know the damn story, my wife does real estate. The CRX is like bass boat blue. It's bright. It's full of rainbow flake. It's got gold wheels on it. It's totally badass. And it was
Does it have a white side skirt?
Well, yeah. It was like a PCI side skirt for an EG that we cut down, and I never painted it because I thought it looked kind of cool like that. But I got away with it because everybody in my little hood knows that I'm the freaking car guy, you know? So they're like, he's cool. I mean, he likes those weird, dumb little cars, but he's cool. And so I got away with it. And then my wife's in real estate. She had the house across the street listed. Some other damn agent went to go show the house. And it was like a trifecta of everything kind of going on at the same time. Like an 18-wheeler was bringing the leftover magazines at the exact time that they were pulling up to look at the house. So, like, I walk out in, like, board shorts and no shirt to meet this guy with my dreads, you know, in this 18-wheeler, and there's freaking blue Hondas sitting out there and red Fiestas and all sorts of shit because I'm trying to make room for the magazines that are coming, you know, and I'm just, hey, waving to these people not paying attention. So they basically got scared and left. And so my wife texted the other agent that was like, hey, how'd the showing go? And they were like, well, the house looked good, but then they saw a race car neighbor come out with his dreads, and they saw all they needed to see, not interested or something. And she was like, oh my God. Well, that's awkward because race car neighbor's my husband, and we would have been pretty rad neighbors, you know. And so after that, she vouched for me.
I hope they're listening to this.
Yeah, she was like, can you please just take the car to my parents? Her parents have property, you know. She's like, just take the blue car over there until I sell the house. And so I was like, fine, whatever. So I took it over there, and it ended up taking like a couple months to sell the house, and then one thing led to another, and I hadn't brought it back over here, and I've got a really cool CRX that's wasting away that I don't want to sell because I love it, but if I love it, I need to sell it to somebody that's going to, you know, love it more than I just don't have space or time, you know. And with the Fiesta, the Fiesta's got the same like soul, you know, except it's more dailyable. The CRX is the CRX is totally dailyable until you stop daily driving it, and then you get back in it and you're like, this is freaking terrifying. Like, this is really...
It's supposed to be a little scary.
Dude,
it's supposed to be a little scary.
It is.
It's like driving a Coke can that's ready to be crushed.
Yeah, like he would ride with me and be like, are you serious with this car? And I'm like, yeah, man, what's the problem? I mean, like...
My train of thought is if I always feel like I'm going to die, I'll appreciate life just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's why CRX guys are just a little bit happier than everyone else.
It is a freaking... It is like a chopped up motorcycle, but with doors. That's the best way I can explain it. You know, like it's you're going 60, you feel like you're going 120. There's no interior whatsoever.
Terrifying.
No padding on the seats. No sunroof in 4 years. There's holes in the floor, so the rain comes. Like, when it's raining, like, it's raining between you and the wipers, and you're just like, doesn't work like that. You know, like, the headlights are terrible, but the damn thing, it's got Willwood front and rear brakes. It's got 6-piston in the front. It's got a B16. It's a freaking go-kart. I mean, literally, it's like the proportions of a go-kart, you know?
Yeah.
Damn it!
I really want to see it.
I'll send you. I mean, it's cool as crap, man. It really is. Matter of fact, I need to go fix that thing. Damn it!
Yeah, we should have fun with it.
There goes my life.
Leaves. Yeah.
I had this big epiphany with Mike earlier today. I was like, my whole life is a big waste of time with cars. And it's like I'm wasting my time. But yeah, now I need to go fix that one too.
Story of our lives.
Yep.
Or sell it. But I'm not gonna sell it. I'm gonna end up with a freaking primer DA Integra shell and whatever the new Xbox is that I don't give a shit about and like $700. That's what's gonna happen. And I don't want that.
That's pretty true.
Yeah.
I got $700.
What do you trade it for? What do you trade it for?
I would rather let it become part of nature.
You vape? I got a new vape box.
I know, right? Last I looked, I think there were little tadpoles in it. So we gotta let the tadpoles grow up before I can do anything.
You might be terrified of what has actually grown inside of that thing in the years since you've been there.
It's its own ecosystem.
Yeah. Maybe we can turn it into that. Maybe I'll hit up Honda and see if we can turn it into some... They got the eco buttons in all their cars. Maybe we can do a big ad campaign on this
car ecosystem.
See what comes out of my CRX.
Have y'all seen the Tesla swapped E36?
No. I saw a Tesla swap something old.
I saw a video on it yesterday, and it's like a drift car, and they were drifting it over at Angel Stadium. They had some kind of big event out there a couple days ago, and that thing is killer. And it was freaky at the same time because it's like a legit drift car that makes no noise whatsoever. You just hear tires squealing around the corner, and it made me feel really uncomfortable.
I'm still geeking out for the first time I saw one launch. Like, all you hear are the tires.
I rode in one. I rode and run, and I was pissed. I was pissed at the fact that it was all electric, and it was faster than anything I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
And it can drive by its freaking self.
Yeah. No, it can do all sorts of things by its freaking self. It's like, basically, it's on air ride, right? So, like, you can pull up to your driveway if you've got, like, a lumpy little driveway entrance and raise the car, and then basically you can get the car to remember those coordinates, and every time you get to that point, the car will just level up so it can... Dude, it is... Like, I got to drive one for a while, and then we did a little thing with them, and my dad got to drive one, and my dad's reaction was, like, spooky. Like, he was like, everything that I've spent my entire life knowing to be true with performance is just, it's gone.
Out the window.
It's not,
irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. He's like, it's literally, he's like, for somebody like me, it's spooky because I can see the future. Like, you drive that car one time and you know exactly where we're going. And he's like, I see it and it's not me. I'm not in it. I'm not, and it's like, it's spooky. But like all the moving parts in a modern day engine that give us the problems, they're not there. I think they said like 6 or 7 moving parts in that thing. Like think about all the crap that you replace, hoses and freaking alternators and water pumps and all that kind of stuff that like
it's gone.
You don't need. Yeah, I mean
This is where the robots take over and kill us all.
Not to mention it's stupid fast.
That's the next step.
Yeah,
it was nuts the first time that I got into it because the dude that I rode with, he was like, "You want to go for a ride?" And
what was
I think
it?
it was a.
Was it a P85D?
I think it was I think it was a P100D.
I don't know.
I think it was.
So
it was. I know it was a Model S.
Yeah.
But he was like, "You want to go for a ride in my Tesla?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." And then he just stood there, and I was like, "So we're gonna go?" And he was like, "Oh, it's coming." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "What do you mean it's coming?" He had hit like a retrieve button in his pocket.
Yeah.
And he pointed across the parking lot, and you literally saw this car back out of the parking spot with no one in it. And there's this dude in this F-150 right behind it going. And I kid you not, it pulled up, stopped at a stop sign, and then turned the corner and stopped next to us.
Yeah,
and
that's fucky.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time I ever drove one, I used to valet, and that's what the guy was kind of running me through it, and he's like, yeah, so when you get up close to it, the door handles will open, and then you just get in it and put it in drive, and I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, it'll be on when your key gets within proximity of the car. It just comes on, so you don't hit a button, you don't start it, you just get in it and drive it. And then you walk.
Well,
away
he's like,
from
what
it.
do you need me for? Like, what am I? I'm valeting your car.
Home.
Why don't you just tell it to go fuck off? Come back after you finish eating.
Yeah.
Like, order dessert, and that bitch is pulling up.
Yeah, it's insane.
We were sitting. The dude that I was with, he was trying to tell me one of the specs that it had. He was like, "Damn, I forgot." So he did this super futuristic swiping on the screen. He pulled up Google and Googled specs of P100D Tesla in the Tesla.
Yeah.
And, I was like, this is the most nuts thing I've ever
experienced. They can
experienced.
send you updates to your car while you're sleeping at night. You walk out the next morning, it's faster. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, while you're sleeping in the car as it's driving itself down the road.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's nuts.
The only thing that kind of sucks about the self-driving thing is like every 30 seconds or something, I can't remember what it is, you have to tap the steering wheel. So it's kind of pointless because you still have to touch the steering wheel.
Yeah.
But
it allows
cool.
you to text or whatever you want to do.
I'm sure that'll be gone in like 30 minutes or whatever. That freaking Elon Musk, dude, he sells freaking flamethrowers. Tesla's flamethrowers. He owns a space program, and he shot a car into space.
For fun. For a marketing ploy.
Basically,
and it's playing David Bowie on constant repeat.
Yeah, with Don't Panic on the back. Like, dude, the guy's legitimately
the coolest shit in the world.
As hell.
There's no sound in space. You can't even hear it, but the car's got it playing.
Like, imagine an alien rolling up on that. Just being like,
the fuck?
the hell is this guy?
That's the warning to Earth. Like, listen, they did some crazy shit. I don't know what they're going on. Let's just let them do their thing.
Yeah. Guys are out of their minds. Like, yeah. I mean, can you just imagine it? Like, the aliens would just be, like, knocking on the glass of the little fake spaceman, like, you lost, man? Like, what the hell? What are you doing? You're just sitting there cruising.
Blinker gets turned on.
I mean, dude. I
It's
definitely respect the way that he is blowing that money.
Yeah.
And it's funny, too, because you go back and look at his interviews of, like, how the dude literally came from just about nothing. And, you know, in the early Tesla days, they had it on Top Gear, right? The British Top Gear. So, you know, they did a whole take on it driving around the track. And in the show, it broke down. So, and they were talking about how electric cars, like, you know, basically weren't shit because it, like, broke down or whatever. But then Elon Musk said recently in an interview how that was staged. And it didn't actually break down, but they made it look that way. And dude started crying. He was like, these are my idols. And they trash, you know, because Top Gear, especially back in the early 2000s, is like the biggest car show that you could watch, you know? That was really when TV was like super huge hitting, you know?
Yeah.
And if anybody who was a car guy watched Top Gear. And then this dude's lifetime of hard work, they fake it breaking down. And going from that to, like, crying in an interview about, you know, these 3 dinosaurs that broke his car down or whatever, and now he's freaking shooting flamethrower spitting Teslas into space.
Hell yeah.
It's nuts.
Cool. So how expensive do we have to get up to in our little what do we get for 15 grand before we can say Tesla? Got a ways to go.
They just came out with a $30,000 model recently, didn't they? Like a super basic one.
I don't care.
I think that's the one they're having trouble keeping up with the demand because they basically made it like $1,000 down payment and.
Yeah, they're having some problems with production or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be hot. You know, I want one of them twin motor badass ones.
I have a friend that he worked for a Mazda dealership local to here. He's actually from Germany. He moved from Germany here and was doing car stuff. And he got a job offer for Tesla. So, like, he sold his house while he was still here, bought an RV, and drove the RV to California to start working for Tesla before he even had a house.
Dang.
And so I was messaging the other day because I just, you know, wanted an update, and he said, like, it's probably the best company he's ever worked for.
Yeah.
He said, like, they have their own cafeteria where they feed you lunch every day.
Yeah.
We're kind of freaking, you know, he works in, like, I think he works on, like, an assembly line or something. I don't know what he does. But, like, what kind of assembly line, you know, factory job provides you lunch every day? Yeah. You know, I don't know nothing around here in freaking Podunk, Alabama.
I don't know nothing around here. Shit. Shit. If my old lady ain't stuffing a cheeseburger or some like PBJ in my lunch bag, I'm not eating.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Cool. All right. Well, we've been going for an hour and a half.
Holy shit.
We got anything else?
I think
maybe a 4Runner.
I thought about the 4Runner. Or I thought about the FJ. Can you get an FJ for 15? I don't know. They might be going back up now. I think they kind of, yeah.
I tried.
I
couldn't find it.
Is it what?
Is the FJ, like, I've heard the FJ is a piece. Is it a piece?
I mean, it's very capable. It just has the Camry motor, from what I know. And, I mean, I was thinking about an FJ when I first had my 4x4 fever, because it's a natural badass progression, right? Like, if you've grown up around imports, you want a Toyota. And then I was like, man, dude, like, it doesn't have a straight axle. Top doesn't come down. As a matter of fact, it's kind of a barrel on the inside. You know what I mean? Like, and I was thinking of, since I have a little girl, I'm like, it's got that kind of four-door kind of knot thing, and it's going to be a pain to get her in there, and then she's going to be in this back of this barrel thing. It's like, that's just not what I want. I want the top to come down. I want a straight axle. I want a real damn 4x4. So I got the Jeep, and I don't look back at all. Having said that,
you can't really go wrong with the Jeep.
Nah, my wife's got a 4Runner TRD Pro though, and she freaking loves the thing. And they're great cars. It's just once you've had a Jeep, everything is measured against but does it have a straight axle? Does the top come down? I don't want it. It's just, I don't know. As a matter of fact, I was gonna put a Jeep on this $15,000. I had a Jeep on our $5,000 list, a Cherokee. I had a TJ Wrangler on our $10,000 list, and I was going to try and put a JK, maybe a two-door, whatever you could get for 15 grand. And the reason I didn't is because that's not a good move. Like, if I was going to tell somebody to get a JK, I would strongly encourage them, even if it was just the two-door especially, to go get a new one, because they hold their value so well. The JLs are out now, but you can still get JKs, so you could get a deal. You could get tremendous financing, and get a brand new one that you could have forever, and they hold their value like freaking crazy. Why would you go get one with a 3.8 that's a lesser motor and try and save, 10 grand? It's not worth it. It's going to end up costing, the financing would be worth it to just buy a new one. But anyway, so FJs, they look dope. And if that's your style, then hell yeah,
The 3 front windshield wipers.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're cool. They look like little off-roaders for sure. But I want a top to come down.
Yeah. Woolie's words.
But I have a convertible problem, so.
Yeah. Woolie has a convertible problem. Hi, my name is Woolie, and I like convertibles.
You gonna take the doors off a damn FJ? Come on.
No, you're not.
I was just in Panama City.
Yeah.
I was just in Panama City, and I was driving down the road, and there was a dude with a Ford Bronco that had unbolted the top off of it and taken the doors off of it.
Now, see that? And it was.
It was horrifying.
Oh yeah, I'm about it.
I was.
Have you seen Desperado? Have you seen Desperado?
Yeah, I have. It's funny how me and you are like, yeah, this guy. First of all, Panama City, so he's already awesome. Second of all, he's got a Bronco, and he took the top off, and he turned it upside down and made a flower pot out of it, and then he took the damn doors off.
And you could totally tell that he lived there because there was sand all in it, had no interior. Whatsoever. Yeah. He was basically sitting on just the seat rails. There was no cushion in the seat. It was bulldogging. The freaking ball joints and everything were gone. It was
first investment on that is the flagpole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I bet money.
That's
it.
The first person I had try to race me in my Focus after I bought it was a single cab, 90s model Silverado that was lifted 15 inches and had a custom welded come out of the trailer hitch that went the width of the bed that said Trump train with straight straight open headers. The most pops and crackles I've ever heard out of any engine ever. And he was right beside me, just wah, letting off, pop, 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 pop. I was like, dude, I'm not messing with you.
Oh man, he is letting freedom ring.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Trump train is about the height of the tailgate and the width of the bed. There's no way it was legal, but he was rocking it.
I swear I've seen that same guy in Loganville.
I don't think that truck would have
Probably.
made it to Loganville.
Cool. All right. Well, it's my bedtime.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
Yeah,
All right.
good stuff, gentlemen.
All right. See
Till
ya.
next time.
Yeah.